It's just so, you know, like other folks might want to see it after the fact, or even for you, if you want to see it after.
What I can do is kind of explain how the particular shorts came about. So the company is Fox Digital Networks, and they are a subsidiary of what used to be called 20th Century Fox. And this was back in 2017, and they commissioned teams of filmmakers to produce their own 2-minute short. And then the filmmaking teams made the shorts and submitted them back to the network. And then the network then ran them as commercials during the football season that was airing on Fox in the fall. But the really funny thing was that they didn't tell people that they were shorts. They just introduced them as like, it would just appear as a regular commercial during a commercial break of a football game. So people that were watching the football game and were just watching the commercial, or they're like, what is this? This is freaky. This is scary. So, yeah. Did you have a question?
So just like that, like they didn't just say like it was a short, that was just like that, and people were like left to wonder what it was?
Yeah, what they did is they didn't do any introduction at the beginning of the short, but what they did do at the end of the short was say, this is Bite-Sized Horror brought to you by Skittles or Reese's Pieces, because it was all tied into a candy company. So each short was sponsored by a particular type of candy, but they didn't tell you that until the very end. So, because it was in the fall and it was football season, it was in October when these were airing, it was all kind of thematically tied around Halloween and stuff. So, and I just found out about that. I mean, these aired in 2017, and I found out about it earlier this year when someone had sent me the link, because I'm very interested in writing horror and thrillers, and that's the space I've been working in since roughly about 2015 or so. And so when I saw them, I thought, wow, this is really creative and something that I think Covenant House could probably get behind, since you all have the equipment and the resources there through Digital Dove. And once I show you how concentrated you can make it within 2 minutes, you know, it's just a matter of kind of guiding you through the process and showing you how it can do.
One thing too, maybe I want to mention, because Aisha, your script, she has a short horror kind of script. It's maybe 4 or 5 pages?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's good. Maybe we can kind of at the end of this, or if you want to, or I can forward it to Amy, maybe, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Aisha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to take a look at it.
But, you know, this might be useful for you, like to see of, you know, is there a way that if it's shorter, maybe it can be more impactful, or maybe not, but it's just like another way to think about it. Because, yeah, I know you were saying like, oh, I think it's really hard to make something short. But I know that, I think the first script that I read from yours was like 30 or 40 pages or something like that. And I would say like the 4-page script that you wrote, I think is much more effective. So I think you're totally capable of it.
So yeah, that's the background of where these shorts came from and how I found them and how I brought the idea to Kristen and thought that maybe this is something that Digital Dove could do, or that the people attending Digital Dove would be interested in doing. And
so what would happen after we did it? We produced it.
Kristen, that might be a question you answer.
No, because I thought you meant like, since you were talking about it, like something was gonna happen with it, or what?
Well, I mean, we'll still be doing the HBO screening, and then we'll do a screening at Covenant House eventually. I did talk to them, and so obviously the April screening is off. And I thought about doing something. We had we thought about doing something online. I talked to HBO about it. They were kind of into it. But I think by the time we would be able to get something together for something online, we might as well just wait until summer when hopefully we're all back together in person.
Yeah, I'd like to wait too. I hope we get a fair time, like where we all could still continue to make. Because I know some of us were still like in the middle and just beginning like me. So it would be nice if we all got a fair amount of time to go back and make our films.
Yeah, I think that seems to make the most sense at this point, to just push it back. And like, obviously, all of HBO's shows are on hold, so they completely understand that we're not in production right now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it just makes sense to push everything back as we need
to. Yeah, but I've still been writing kind of a little bit of stuff, just practicing or whatever. So I'm going to look back. The script that I showed you was actually, I think it was like 100 pages, between a 90 and 100 pages long. But I think you only got to like a few pages because like there was issues with it. I don't think I've gotten it back yet. Well, I sent it to myself, but I forgot where I typed it on. I think it was this old computer, but I can't find it. But I know where I actually typed this script on before I sent it to myself. I believe it was this laptop, but I'm trying to work on getting it back again, at least to where I can format it and I won't have to read it through email, but through actual like Word, or I don't know what this was that I had, but it was some type of, this is an old laptop, so it's some other name processing thing or whatever. I don't know, but I do want to take a look at that again, that script, just to like make some changes.
Do you have a log line for what the script was about?
Oh no, yeah, somebody told me about that. I have not worked on that yet. I started working on other ideas and I was just like, I'll probably just wait until I'll put aside a certain time to do that. But yeah, I could not work on that. I try to think about that because when I get an idea, I don't know, I just build up on it. I don't think about that part yet, but I know I'm probably gonna put aside some time to work on that.
Can you tell me briefly what it's about?
I don't know. Hold on. It's been a while since I worked on that one. I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait. And maybe once I get the log line, I'll give you that. That's like the thing in like, that's under the movie, right? When they tell you and they say like, that's just like 2 sentences what it's about or something?
Yeah, exactly. It's basically just a 2-sentence summary of what your movie's about, like 1 to 2 sentences. Sometimes 3, but again, shorter is better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll put some time aside to work on that.
Okay. Well, I can definitely help you out with that when you are ready to face that task, because I've certainly written my fair share of log lines as well.
Have you finished a movie, another one yet? A horror film or whatever? You said you're working on a...
Yeah. So I have, it's very funny because all of my produced credits are actually not horror. They are romantic comedies or Christmas comedies.
You told me that, but you said you're working on something. Like, have you finished what you've been working on?
Yeah, I actually just finished a draft of my most recent project on Friday. Yes, on Friday. And it broke my brain and I couldn't write it all over the weekend because I just had to give my brain a rest. And but yeah, I have a new draft finished of my current project, and I'm gonna submit it to a couple of my close trusted friends for feedback, and then see if I need to make any more changes. And then I'm going to be submitting it to a couple of contests and a couple of fellowships that are out there, and a couple of my industry friends in industry circles. And there's a whole plan of attack, and we'll see if I can't make something happen that way. It's such a strange time, right?
Yeah, I'm like, you're going to do that right now, though? I'd probably like, wait. Because I know I got this email about a contest thing too, and I'm like, are people really trying to, I don't want to submit anything now, like while it's like this. I would like to wait until production gets back. I know you want to be ready, of course, like right now is a good time to get ready, but you know, like I probably want to wait until everything's back up and running again, and then people are like, okay, we really want this now, we really want that, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of the competitions are online based anyway, so they weren't going to change their deadlines. They're, you know, since everybody submits their things electronically anyway. But it is, you bring up a good point, which is that, you know, do people want to be watching or reading horrors and thrillers right now when we're dealing with an interesting environment? But to me,
I don't know, maybe anything, just like, you know, because a lot of people are thinking what they're going to do when time comes back around and everything, what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like the best way forward is to just keep working on what you're working on. And
like trying to make sure you're ready for when everything comes back, so therefore you have at least work to present.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so I finished a draft on Friday. I'm working on other projects, and half of them are horror and half of them are still romantic comedy. It's interesting to bounce back and forth between the two genres. It's like sometimes I feel like I have a split personality, but it's not hard to toggle between the two. They just use different parts of your brain. They're different styles, and it's it's fine. It's totally fine. But yeah. So do you want to watch one of the shorts together? I have 3 of them picked out, or you tell me what you want to do.
Hold on, let me.
You don't know?
No, I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to see. Wait, let me check. Right at the skip forward.
So on the thing, it says the first one.
And I'm on like a different. Okay, there it is. So floor 9 and 9.5 starts at 12:53.
Yep, exactly.
Let me skip to that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on the 12:53.
Okay.
You got yours?
Uh-huh.
All right. Do I just watch it now?
Can we share the screen and watch it together, Kristen, or?
I'll cue that up real quick. All right. So, we'll see. It seems like the internet is working pretty well today. So I'm going to share my screen. Share. Here we go. And here's 9.5.
Right.
I need your help.
What?
I need your help.
All right. Can you quit it?
Turn around.
Okay.
Please. You gotta turn around.
Damn.
Hello? Hey.
I need your help.
Okay. So that was pretty much 2 minutes. What'd you think?
Okay. Well, I would have never stepped off the elevator. I'd be like, forget that. I would have kept on going, man.
Well, that is the classic trope of any horror movie, right? Which
Yeah.
is, you know, it's like, well, if I wouldn't have gone into that creepy old house. Or
So you're saying they made these and then presented them to 20th century when it was 20th century, or they made them at that studio?
That is the part that I actually don't know for sure. I believe that 20th Century Fox had commissioned the filmmakers. So I think the filmmakers had come to them. Well, it could have gone one of two ways. It could have been that 20th Century Fox had hired the filmmakers to be like, give us a short, and they came back with this. Or scenario two, the filmmakers came into 20th Century Fox Digital and said, this is what we can deliver. And Fox would either greenlight it or not, based on whatever. So I'm not quite sure of the particulars because unfortunately I'm not based over there. But I'm tending to think that it was probably the second scenario where the filmmakers went in to pitch their idea to Fox Digital, and then Fox Digital said, sure, and they gave them the green light and gave them the budget, and then off they went, and then they came back, and I'm sure there were notes that went back and forth from the studio to the filmmakers in terms of tweaks and things. But yeah, so it went probably something like that. But it wasn't necessarily something where it wasn't perhaps a competition where Fox said, hey, anybody can submit and we'll pick our favorites. I don't think
they did some stuff to get in there.
Yeah, no, these were already working filmmakers who had had various successes on different platforms. And I believe that Fox Digital, now again, I could be completely wrong, but I'm based on what I know of studios and things of that nature, that I believe that they had to pitch and then Fox would commission them based on the pitch. So.
All right.
Yeah, but like we were speaking of before, you can see how you can pack a very interesting concept into 2 minutes. You know, there's not a lot of dialogue. There's not a lot of locations. There's, I think, a total of 3 characters, right? And it was pretty effective. I at least I thought so. But what did you think?
Oof. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to say much on that because I guess 2 minutes is very short for me to. I don't know. Can't give in. Maybe the next one, if I see how that one is.
Okay, we can keep going on the next one. I believe that's actually the one right after it.
Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one right after. Oh yeah, because these went right in a row. Maybe that's why I picked them. So.
Cool. And it's fine, Aisha. You won't hurt our feelings if you're not impressed.
Well, y'all didn't make them, so like.
Yeah, no, you're not offending me at all. I'm just using them as examples.
Yeah, I feel like.
No, I mean, I don't know. I guess 2 minutes is really short for me. That's it.
Like 6. Okay, what's this one called again?
This one is Live Bait.
Live Bait. All right, here we go. Let's do it.
Okay. I knew it right when that cat came up that he was about to. I got that one.
You like that one?
Yeah, I guess I kind of understand. I don't know. It wasn't predictable, but I liked it. It was entertaining.
Yeah, it definitely is more humorous than the first one. The first one is a lot more spooky in tone and supernatural based. A lot of dark.
I think it's because like I knew what was gonna happen. Like, and I could tell like when the can came up that it was meant for him and he was gonna fall for it because his beard. So it was like they reversed it on him.
Yeah, yeah. And what I think is interesting about it is that it's all done in broad daylight, and it's a lot more comedic in tone without.
That's why it was funny. I mean, like when when you go to a scary movie, like somebody's gonna pop out of the corner, it's gonna happen, but you still get scared because it's like in the dark. So, but this was in daytime, so in daylight, so you can be really scared.
Yeah. And also interesting to note in this one is again one location, one character this time. It's there's only the fisherman. There's not anybody else there. It's all done without dialogue. There's no dialogue there. It's all done via physical action. You do have some special effects there at the end, as he's being attacked by something invisible that drags him underwater. But other than that, it's a pretty simple concept. And again, done pretty effectively in 2 minutes. So now we can move on to the third one, which is actually the most complicated of the trio that I picked. So let's see what you think of this one. It's called Salt.
Too real coughing.
I'm gonna have to go downstairs.
Is she just talking really low? Because I cannot hear her.
Yeah, volume-wise, it's not easy to understand.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, no. Man. Sorry.
And that's the end of Salt. So what did you think of that one, Aisha?
I don't know, I didn't get it that much.
Yeah, it's definitely complicated. It's got a lot more of an involved storyline to it. But essentially what it's about is the woman is trying to protect her sick child from the demon. And what keeps them protected is the circle of salt. And as long as nobody breaks that circle of salt barrier, they're safe. And so as long as they're inside the salt barrier, they're safe. But then she has to go outside the salt barrier to get more medication for her child. So she goes downstairs, the demon comes after her, but then she manages to imprison the demon by drawing a salt circle around the demon. So then she's safe, but then the fan turns on and blows the salt circle away so the demon can get out. Then the demon then goes after the child, and then the mom has to run up and grab the child, and then they run to the car. She pours the salt circle around the car so they're safe inside the car, but then it starts to rain, which dissolves the salt circle, and then the demon jumps on the car, and then we cut. So it's a slam cut to black. So not necessarily the end of the story, because they were pretty clever in all of the different ways that they used the salt as protection, but you could draw your own conclusions about whether she was going to get away from the demon or not. So,
oh, something happened.
So yeah, the reason why I liked that one is each of the ones that I picked were kind of different levels. So the fisherman one was pretty simple. It was a simple setup. It was simple location, simple characters, no dialogue. Then the next level up, the medium one, is the elevator short, which has slightly more locations, a few more characters, and some dialogue. And then the salt one is the most complicated one, which you have way more locations. You have an upstairs, a downstairs, a car, inside the car, outside the car. You have two characters, not a ton of dialogue though, if you notice. Again, a lot of it is shown via action, which I think is an important thing to remember when you're trying to do a short that's 2 minutes, 5 minutes. You want to, it's that, I'm sure you've heard of the saying, show, don't tell, right?
I think I have.
Yeah.
Not that
and
much.
It's basically, when it comes to filmmaking, you are much better served showing what you want to say rather than saying what you want to say. So, so with each of these three shorts, you can see how simple you can get or how complicated you can get within 2 minutes. So, but yeah, so I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are.
I mean, I don't know, it's really short for me. It's like, I like to take a walk, watch a little bit more. I don't know, I don't have much. Because, you know, you kind of want to, I don't know what their point is, but, you know, you want to get into a story when you go to watch it. Which, of course, is why most films are like minutes long, like 90 minutes or something. You know, you really want to get into the story, or you want to know the backstory, I guess. I'm interested in that.
Sure. Sure. Someone else had pointed out to me that the salt one could be used almost as a trailer for the feature. Because most trailers tend to be around 1:45 to 2 minutes. And sometimes the trailer is just an action sequence from the larger movie. So that would be a way to think about it too, is that whatever 2 minute short you are thinking about doing, it could be just a sequence in the larger feature version of your idea. Cool. But so what we had originally planned after we watched all of these is that we were going to try and create the script for one of them. if that's something you're interested in doing.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't have to look at them again. What will happen with it after that?
It's just an exercise to show you how you could create it. In fact, I could maybe even get us started if you wanted. I could share my screen. I've got a program up here, and we could take something together and.
Wait, so did you want like like for a beginning, or like so we could write like a beginning or an end to it or something like?
So the idea would be that we would take one of the shorts and recreate what we think the script would have been for that short, to kind of give us an idea of how maybe you could write your own short.
Mm-hmm. I think I could come up with something.
Well, it's a good exercise. So basically all we're trying to do is like, oh, we watch it, right? We watch the like couple seconds and they're like, all right, it's interior or exterior elevator 11:59.
Yeah, I understand. I could probably put how long did you want it to be?
Well, the first whack at it is just kind of transcribing what we see in the short. So, you know, exterior office building, and then interior elevator lobby, and then interior elevator, and then interior floor 9.5. You know, so we transcribe what we see. So exterior.
Wait, can you explain that more? Because what I'm thinking is that you're meaning just to say, like creating like I said before, a backstory or what would happen next. So what do you mean? Like what I would think is that we wouldn't end up with what we saw like in the film. Like we would be showing, like, say if the movie was longer, we'd be kind of writing what would happen like apart from that scene that we've watched.
Well, if that's the way you want to go, you could probably just work on your own idea, because you know you don't necessarily.
I was just trying to understand what you were talking about. I don't
Sure.
really understand.
Okay, so Kristen, if should I just share my screen? If okay, so share my screen, and then
Kind of like a way to just backward engineer. It's like we're using these examples to like just understand a little bit of like how you write something that you see on the screen that doesn't have dialogue.
Right. So if we were going to take the elevator one, which is the one I'm just because it's the one we saw first, if we were going to create the script to that, it would be exterior office building. I can't. Office building night, and then the description would be.
Wait, so you wanted me to write that? You wanted me to write what I saw? That's what you were asking?
Yeah, either you could do it on your own, or we can do it together.
Okay, I can write. I would, like I said, I understand what you're asking. Like, so you're asking me to basically create a script of what I saw, like basically just like writing it down?
Yeah, okay. Or we can do it together, or if you want to go off and do it on your own, and then we can come back next week and you show us what you came up with. Either answer is fine.
All right. So just to be sure, I'm just writing what I saw. So writing a script, basically writing this. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Cool. And do you want to do that now, or do you want to go off on your own and do it?
You want it done right now? Let me see.
We can all do it together, or you can do it on your own. You can do it now, or you can do it later.
Dang, I'm sorry, my stomach hurt.
Oh.
I'm like,
I'm sorry.
seeing what this.
What was for dinner?
Yeah, I ate too much. My fault. I shouldn't have done that. I do regret it.
Never regret it. Regret
No, I
nothing.
regret it. I might try. I want to try to go for a walk, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even feel like leaving, but I'm like, maybe if I walk, it'll stop hurting or something. I'll walk it off. Maybe
Maybe.
look for this writing thing.
But yeah, so it would essentially go something like that. Establish. And then interior, office, opposite, elevator, lobby, night. A young woman waits for the elevator, and then doors open, and then interior elevator. Right. Oh, actually, I should do this, shouldn't I? Woman leans up. She's tired. A clock flips to midnight. She sees the electronic display. Click off the floors. Suddenly, it gets stuck between floors 10 and 9. Elevator screeches to a halt. So it would look like that. And so what the exercise is designed to do is to have you write the script to what you saw, and then we can look over it together. And if you get stuck, or if you have problems of trying to make it shorter, or if you don't understand about how to describe a certain thing, it's something we can work on together if you're interested.
So, yeah, I could try that. I could attempt that on one of them.
Great. Sounds good.
Oh, I do have Word. Trying to find what I used to type on before. Since I'm watching on this one, I can do on this one, but there was something I was using on this old laptop. It wasn't Word, but it was something. I forgot what it was called.
So what I'm using right now is a free screenwriting software called writerduet.com.
No, I meant like, oh yeah, I have that, but I meant like, before I would type on Word, but it was called something else on this computer because it's like an old one. Before I had Word, or Office 365, I used something else, but I don't see it. Maybe it's not there anymore. But yeah.
So Writer Duet is totally free online.
But you can only save like, I think like how many? And
3.
then you have to, yeah, and then you'd have to pay for it right after that? Pay for it?
Yeah, you would, but 3 is a good number to start with, and it's really user-friendly. I mean, this is actually my first time using it, and it's really easy. It's formatting things for you. It's putting things in the right place. And it's all online as opposed to something that you would download onto your laptop. So you would have to be connected to a Wi-Fi signal. But other than that, it is free.
It seems better than.
Are you registering your scripts with screenwriters? Is it
With the Writers Guild?
Yeah.
I am not, because I don't, for me, okay, so this may be a little bit more technical than you're interested in, but when you register your script, you want to do it when it's the very, very, very last draft.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because if you register like your first draft, it's probably not going to be the last time you work on that draft. So for example, the draft that I finished on Friday, it's draft 11 of my project. I've been working on it for 2 years. So if I had registered the first draft, I would just have to go back and re-register draft 11 because it's completely different than draft 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is that if I had, well, I shouldn't say that. It does cost money to register with the Writers Guild. And so I would rather wait until there's a sale involved. And then I can register with the Writers Guild before I sign the contract, if that makes sense. Because then I'm saying that they're buying this specific draft. So I would register it with the Writers Guild first before I sold it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I guess. I mean, I've saved my first thing, but I don't think it's going to change much. But I'm like, I mean, unless I happen to get in front of a producer and they said change this or that. But I know it'll probably change in like the formatting and stuff, but not the ideas more per se. Like maybe a few things would change. So I don't know.
Yeah, my general advice is don't register with the Writers Guild until you're absolutely sure you're not going to make any more changes to it.
Hmm.
That's just my personal experience. Because you want to save your money. I thought it was somewhere between 25 to 35 bucks per registration. And the other thing is it's only good for 10 years. So if your project is going on for longer than that, you would just have to re-register it anyway. Just all food for thought.
Mm. Mm. How far along are you now, Kristen?
About 2 months.
Oh man, I bet you weren't expecting to hear that, huh? You were like, you only wanted one, huh? At first.
I was trying to have another one.
Oh, you did want another one? Oh, okay. Well then, mission accomplished.
Yep.
But they say like you can't go out or nothing.
Well, that's how come I got telecommute status. Because
I mean, you know, like you gotta go out. Like I only go out for like food or something, or if I really have to get something.
Yeah, I mean, I was around, but I went to the store today. But I'm definitely not trying to go out. Go on little bike rides and things like that. But yeah, I am not outside.
How about you, Aisha? Do you get outside a lot? Or you stay?
Only when I need something, but I'm thinking about starting to run or something, maybe like early in the morning when there aren't people outside, or late at night. I want to start doing that because I don't know about other people, but my legs hurt when I don't walk for a certain amount of time and I go outside and I walk, because it's like you're stretching out your muscles, so it really hurts, and I don't like that. And if I do walk a lot, I don't get that. But if I do like stay inside for so long and then go outside, it does hurt. My legs hurt. So I'm going to try to start walking, at least walking every day, if not running.
Yeah,
be careful. Or if you run at night, like put some lights on or something.
Or maybe early in the morning, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I do my running early in the morning at around like 6:15 a.m. and there's very few people on the sidewalks that early in the morning. So I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah. Somebody got hit in my neighborhood just the other day.
Oh no,
man.
that's horrible.
Blocks from my house. That's why I'm like, oh, be careful.
On a bike or walking or running?
I think she was walking. I'd have to look again. Because do you have That civilian.
Oh, the app?
What is that?
It just like notifies you, like it's kind of like a police scanner app. Like,
Oh, okay.
try you or whatever.
Like if they're looking for somebody.
Yeah, which is helpful because there are often helicopters in my neighborhood, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, I'm over in Los Feliz, and there are helicopters every night. It's like it doesn't even register with me anymore. So.
Oh, I'm in downtown. I hear maybe once, but in a while, but not that much.
Really?
Oh, you're lucky.
Lately.
That's good.
I get a lot of those high buildings, high rises, so you won't hear them that much unless they got to land.
Yeah. Hard to maneuver a helicopter around there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I regret that. Now my side hurts. That's what I get for being greedy.
Yeah, I was having the same problem though. I was craving steak, so that's why I went out to go get a steak.
Oh wow.
I ate a big. I was like, I deserve it. Big steak.
Oh wow.
And then I was like, oh no. And then I get nauseous because I eat too much and I'm pregnant.
Where did you get the steak from?
This just a grocery store by my house.
So you made it at home?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Made it at home, fried it up.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Good. I was like, oh, I love this. Oh, I ate too much. Like coughing right before. I was like, oh my gosh, eyes, watery eyes. But I pulled it together.
Cool.
Yeah. It's dark now.
Yeah, it's nighttime outside.
Just 8 right now.
Yeah. They're talking about trying to start everything up again, like May.
I mean, stay at home is until mid-May or still. So
yeah. But I'll still wait. I'll let everybody else go outside. I don't know. I hate it because, it's the economy, but then it's like, I think they would need to empty out a lot of hospitals first. Therefore, like, in case something happens, like, that they want to wait until beds are empty before they start opening up everything, just in case.
Yeah.
That they have space for people.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, I know, I mean, some people are getting anxious and, some people aren't, especially since we haven't been as hard hit. Yeah, some other cities, I think, are kind of like.
I thought California was one of the, states. It's California, New York.
It's like
got hit.
New York, Louisiana.
I know Chicago, but Chicago got it afterwards. I know they're hit hard now, but they got it like after New York, California, and then it was Illinois. Well, Chicago.
I mean, we've had it. I mean, we're a big state, right? So we have a lot of people, but I think we've had it relatively few so far. But that's because we're all inside, being good.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be any new announcements, we'll probably see it May 1st, is my guess. If the stay-at-home order is going to be extended, I would imagine that would come down May 1st. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, there's I have a gym that I used to belong to, and the owners are very antsy. They're very active about saying they're going to be marching on the 1st.
Oh, people are talking about that.
Reopen.
I guess they probably haven't lost a loved one, because I'm pretty sure these people that are talking about, there are people who have not lost loved ones to it, or, they haven't been close to someone who's been affected, because if you have, then you would see the severity or importance of not trying to do anything to, you know, bring this virus back or let it hit hard. So
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because they're business owners, right? And that's just,
yeah.
but
A lot of people who aren't business owners, we're still worried too because we have to pay rent and we need stuff too. But I mean, would you rather go back to work, make all that money, and then die, and then you don't even get to spend that money? I mean, I understand from both ways because we have rent and we have to work, but this is not just something that's fake. I mean, do you really want to die? Like, I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Of course, I know I see both ends, but I'm not trying to lose my life over that. Make money and then die, get sick because I thought it was more important at that time. I mean, I know like in California, I know they said you don't have to pay your rent until, like I think they did it, was it June 1st? And then they said that you can't get evicted or something. So they are trying to work with the people to like help out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're trying. Yeah. But be careful, right? Because you have to pay all your back rent within 6 months.
Yeah. Well, I've been blessed because like my rent is reduced. So I paid this month's rent and then I'm gonna pay next month's rent when I get the money off the card, the stimulus thing, because my rent is low.
Mm-hmm. And did you get the Angelino card? Did you hear about that?
What is that?
There's like a benefit. It's kind of like a stimulus, but it's just for Los Angeles residents. I think it's called the Angelino card. Let me look it up.
What does it give you?
It's like an ATM card. It's basically like a stimulus payment, but it goes straight to an ATM card.
No, I have my Emerald card, my H&R Block card, because I filed through H&R Block, so I got my Emerald card. That's where my money was on.
This is like a separate thing though that you have to apply to. It's just another. It's like another type of assistance.
But do you have to pay that back?
No. Yeah. Angelino card. You should. I can.
Let me Google it.
Yeah, it's Angeleno. I don't know why. Whenever I try to spell Angelino by letters, I like have such a hard time. It's Angelino, like a person who lives in Los Angeles.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, it's a privately funded campaign to help Angelinos in need during the COVID crisis. And it's income dependent, but you can get depending on you're one person, so the maximum benefit can be up to $700 a month. It's something to look into for sure, like if you qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that a couple, that's something that it's just a benefit. Mm-hmm. Making sure that everybody who might need it can have access to it. And you got your unemployment, yeah? Or you got it sent in?
I applied for it, but I haven't gotten it yet. Because I know I don't know how they're doing that. Like, I looked on it, and they were just telling me, like, it's going to take, like, maybe 10 days to process, and then they're going to look into it and stuff. I haven't gotten any more info about it. Yeah. But I know usually, like, when you apply for that, it that takes time to come in. So I don't know. Like, they gave me food stamps. I got that. But money, they haven't given me that yet.
I just keep checking in with your unemployment online, and then I think they said that obviously there's a huge backlog because it's like millions and millions of people.
Yeah. So,
but I think the governor's office said that by like April 26th, I think it is, that everybody's supposed to be processed. So like if you don't hear by then, try and reach out. And I know they're really super hard to get in touch with, but at least.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna use the money that I got from my stimulus to pay next month's rent too. So.
That's good. Yeah, because I mean, I think some people are like, oh, cool, like I don't have to pay my rent, and it's like, well, no, eventually.
Yeah, they're not understanding that. They said the date is pushed back. That doesn't mean you never have to pay. Like you're gonna be held accountable at some point.
Yeah. So it's like, I just, yeah, I don't want anybody to get caught up in like, wait, I thought it's not rent forgiveness, it's rent deferment. So yeah, you just don't want to fall too far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But good, you're keeping on top of it. I know you know how to take care of it.
Yeah, because they tried to ask me about it because like I sent them at first, when I first found out, I sent them an email, and then they saying I wasn't able to make my rent like before the 1st of, where we at? Before the 1st of April. I told them that, and then they just told me about putting a payment plan together, and I told them, well, I'm gonna wait. I want to wait to see about the stimulus check, because if I get it, I can pay my rent. So
That's great.
and then I told them today, because they sent me emails like, no, I paid it Saturday, right when I got my money. I had paid for this month's rent, and then I'll just pay next month when it comes up.
Cool. Oh yeah, but what about writing? Oh wait, so were you gonna work on this? Did you want to work on this after class, or should we?
Yeah, please. Well, you can work on yours and I'll watch, but my stomach hurt. I'm sorry, I don't feel like doing nothing. I probably get some water. I regret that. I feel I didn't want to do that. I was supposed to do better today, and I don't know what happened. I'm not good at proportioning, and I just ate too much at one time, and now my stomach is like gonna explode.
Got it.
Maybe I'll sleep it off and then get up early in the morning and run. Because when I walk, you work that off. When my belly's moving around, and just like them calories just go away. But yeah, making me lazy. Like my stomach really hurts. I regret it.
I regret it.
Yeah, but I've been working on some other things too, like little projects. So I'll definitely get back to typing, and then I'll do that. Type one of them out.
Cool. Sounds good.
So there's no. I'll send an email, but there's no class this Wednesday.
Okay.
We'll have class on Monday, and basically it's going to be the follow-up to this class. So the idea is that that you'll use the script like it's not a template exactly, but this I guess the template of whatever script you pick for whatever one of those short films, and then from there we'll kind of like look at writing your own 2-minute kind of thing. Although it seems like you're pretty lukewarm on the idea of 2 minutes, but
I don't know. I'll try, but I don't know. Like that 5 minutes was hard enough for me.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, after that, I did work on something. It's another short film that I started working on. It's like already outlined and everything. I think that one was like 5 or 6 minutes too. I don't think it was any less than that, but.
I mean, and to your point though, I think you're right. It's a different type of film that's 2 minutes, right? It's like something short and entertaining, and like it can be a concept. It's more conceptual. Maybe that's one generalization.
Because I know you're not getting a beginning, middle, and an end in 2 minutes. So, yeah.
Well, I think you can get a beginning, middle, and end in 2 minutes. I think that what we saw was a beginning, middle, and end for the elevator one and for the live bait one. Perhaps the salt one, we didn't really get a beginning. We didn't know how they got there. We didn't know what the circumstances were. So that definitely seemed like it took place in the middle. But for the elevator one, there was a beginning, middle, and end. And for the live bait one, there was definitely a beginning, middle, and end. So it is possible.
Yeah. And I mean, I think one thing for short things, and I think it's pretty clear in the elevator one, the beginning and the middle, and end, like if you make a story cyclical, the way that elevator one is, right? Like you kind of come in the middle of the cycle, or you're caught in a cycle in that story, but you don't know it yet. And then
Yeah.
the end, the resolve, that's why the end and the resolution is like, this is where that story begins. And
Yeah.
you already know where it ends because you kind of went through her journey with her.
Exactly. Good point.
So, like I think that kind of story, it's like a closed loop story, works pretty good in those kind of like shorts where you're like, oh, he doesn't know what's going to happen to him. I do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like, that's always a good tool too in writing, right? To like leave your audience,
wondering.
Like in on the joke, or like that they know they have special knowledge. Yeah. Because that's, I think, pretty satisfying for an audience member. But yeah, it seems like, I mean, and also maybe, I know that you kind of tend to write like horror stuff yourself, but the one, it's funny though that the one that you reacted to the most and like kind of enjoyed the most, it seemed, was like the one that was really kind of a comedy. It was like a comedy horror.
Yeah, I think because like I kind of like, I kind of feel like I knew it was gonna happen at that point. Like you see him throwing it out, and then when a beer comes up, you're like, okay, he's a man, so he's gonna want the beer, and he's out there alone. So I was like, okay, I get it. Like they're getting back at him. So,
yeah, it's like, oh, okay, you know what the deal is. Yeah, but I mean, and that's one thing I feel like I hear a lot of people always say, that like comedy generally works shorter in short format.
Yeah, because it's immediately entertaining. Like you look, you're gonna get like a laugh. Like you're not really.
It's not that serious, right?
Waiting. You just know that it's just gonna happen. Like you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
So yeah, because the punchline can be the end of the short. It's an easy out.
Yeah. So just some things to think about, just ways to stretch yourself and challenge yourself. Just kind of fun writing stuff. But yeah, and I also did forward your 5-minute script. Was it See with Two Eyes?
Yeah, I'm gonna change the name later, but that's what it is right now.
So I forwarded that to Amy. So maybe if nothing else, we can take a look at that one next week.
Sure.
It's in the genre, and we were pretty much all set to shoot right before like life got canceled.
I feel like that's the name of a script or a short right there. Life got canceled.
Everyone's canceled.
Life got canceled. Yeah, I will. I'll happily take a look at it this week, and then we can, when we come back on Monday, we can certainly go through it with you, let you know my thoughts, and see what's what.
Cool. Any other burning?
Any other questions?
Not so far, no. I think it's just because my stomach hurts again. I'm not really so like interactive.
I'm so curious though. Like I know Amy asked, like, what did you have for dinner?
Oh, it was baked beans and hot dogs.
Oh,
like you cut up them and put it in there. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it was good. That's why I ate too much and I started eating more. But hopefully I learned my lesson. Maybe not, but I'm just saying.
You can make a note to yourself for next Monday to watch your dinner carefully.
I want to do that. I'm gonna start that now. Watching what I eat. Maybe I'll come out of this thing with a few less pounds. A lot of people are talking online, like, are they gonna come out heavier or lighter? like how people are gonna look when they come out.
That's why they call it the COVID-19.
It's because you're gaining 19 pounds.
Oh,
I know I'm
man.
coming out of this thing lighter.
I'm coming out of this thing with like, I was never a big cook before all of this went down. And now I'm forced to have to quickly learn how to cook.
Yeah, I know a lot of people started baking and doing stuff, learning how to cook or whatever.
Yeah. The bar for myself is very, very low. Just like, is it edible? Okay, fine.
I might try to make a cake and pizza before you finish, just to try it out. Like I always want to try to make it.
Oh yeah. For me, the bar is like, is it edible? Fine. It doesn't even matter if it doesn't taste good. It's like, is it edible? Like, can you actually eat it? But there is nothing that I have made so far that I would be like, yeah, I could make this for somebody else. I did biscuits. Those turned out okay. I feel like I could give those biscuits to somebody else. But that's about it.
Biscuits are a good one. Biscuits, biscuits are kind of like pizza. Nobody's really mad at a biscuit.
Exactly. The other thing I've learned is if you throw enough butter and salt on anything, it's going to be fine. People will eat it.
Butter, salt, sugar.
Yeah, exactly. What's that?
Have you talked to anyone else from the club yet lately, Kristen?
I emailed with Destiny. I saw Casey and Vivian in class last week. Zen, were you on with Zen the other day?
Zen, I don't know everybody's names, no. But yeah, the girl. Yeah, I was with her like not last week, but I think it was the week before last. I don't remember. Is that one you're talking about, that music video?
Music video. Oh yeah. Yes. So I think she's actually leaving Covenant House.
Like she got a place to stay or something, or?
Yeah, I guess there's a program called Project Turnkey or something like that. They're temporary apartments for like people who are like housing vulnerable and like
Yeah, I did something like that when I left the Cove, but it was like the way in, but I shared the room with someone. And then there was one I went to after that where I had my own room and before I got my own apartment.
Yeah, like she's hopefully been working with a housing navigator and she'll hopefully get her rapid rehousing. But like that she'll stay in this other place for a couple months until the COVID stuff blows over, and then hopefully by then she'll have her permanent home. So,
I definitely wouldn't want to be in the shelter. I mean, it's better now than it was when I was there, but still,
Yeah, I mean, it's still,
I don't really know people like that.
A crazy time to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so staying in contact with everybody, and HCPR finished their semester, so we'll see. Hopefully they're.
What is that?
That's that program that's like a pathway to union work, and like below the line work. So, Destiny's in that, and then Roxanne.
Oh, you're talking about with Laura at West LA?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever been over there?
I went to West LA when I was like, I tried it out a while ago.
Oh, not into it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it because I was always working.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
But, I mean, a lot of that is online though, right? Anyway, so.
Now it is. So it's probably a great time.
Because I know a lot of colleges are still like requiring their students to finish, at least with things that they can. Like if it's not something where you have to get together with a lot of people, they are still requiring that their students finish off the semester with work.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the people who are in college, like people who have to do hands-on work with a lot of people, like engineering and like mostly STEM work, like with that science and
Yeah. My
and
my husband's sister is just finishing her architectural degree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, her graduation got canceled, but she's like gonna be defending her thesis and stuff. So, but yeah, it sucks to have to like, because they actually can't go into the labs, I guess. So they
yeah, because you got to be with other people and.
Yeah, my 18-year-old niece in Orlando, she's graduating high school and the graduation got canceled, the prom got canceled.
Dang, prom.
Everything got canceled.
Yeah,
So,
I have this friend who she
I'm
works.
like wondering now, like, are they gonna make kids stay back? Like, I've been trying to tell my siblings, like, you guys might wanna. They're not listening, no, but I'm telling them you might want to still study because I don't know if they're just gonna hold kids back
I
a
think
semester.
still.
yeah, they've all moved to an online curriculum, and so she still has to finish her semester, and she'll be all of the tests, the exams.
Yeah,
and
I'm just
stuff.
saying, I don't know if they're doing that for all districts, like, not like that, but I don't know if they're doing that for like mostly where there's minorities. I don't know if they're doing that too, if they're taking that on, because I tried to talk to my siblings about it, like telling them to study, because I don't know if like over there, I think it's mostly Black kids. I don't even know if they're even bothering to continue on.
They're gonna. I mean, they're gonna do. I mean, I think it's a good question. I think it's just like a question of outreach and access, but like it should be that they, there's probably something going on, and that you might have to try extra hard to like.
Yeah, I tried talking to them, but that'll be on them. I mean, I heard that one of my brothers, and he has the same birthday as me. I think they said he got skipped a grade because they didn't know where to put him. But I don't know if he's still like that. I don't know if he's still doing that now, because I share my birth month with 5 other siblings.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Wait, 5 or 4? 5? Yeah, wait, it's 5 of us that have February.
Dang.
3 on the same day. And yeah, so I'm like, I know that I'm like wondering how, because he has my birthday, so I'm like, I don't know how they skipped him, and then the other 2, they didn't get skipped, and their birthday's in February too. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'm just trying to make sure I'm ready to go back to work. Hopefully, if I get my stuff together, I'm trying to put a plan. I'll lose a little weight too, and yeah, I also want to write a lot more. I've been trying to do that, and then also because I actually went in for some interviews. No, yeah, I did. I went in for some interviews, and I was supposed to come back, but then right after that, they immediately, shut everything down.
Yeah.
And I also went in for a job at just dishwashing. I think it was at what studio was that? I think it was Warner Brothers or something like that. Just for dishwashing, so it was a good position. I think it was a day position. That was good, and then everything happened. So
Yeah.
hopefully, at least once all this comes back up, I don't know what's gonna happen, but maybe because even when all this comes back up, you can't guarantee that everybody will even go back to work anyways, because like certain businesses, like where people, it's like where people like bars and restaurants, people got to make money to spend money there. So even while people are trying to rush to go back to work, not everywhere they're gonna have jobs, because people gotta have money even to travel. Like taking planes and stuff, people gotta have money to get on planes and travel. So it's like, even when we come back, not everybody's gonna be able to just jump back into work, because most people are relying on people spending money for them to spend money on businesses. So
Yeah. And they're not gonna open everything back up all at once.
Yeah, because those people you talking about that are protesting, they're protesting, but once people go back to business, a lot of them, they're still have to wait too, because I'm pretty sure a lot of those people where they work, their business depends on other people spending money. So it's like, yeah, gonna be difficult even when we open back up. Yeah, it's gonna take a while for a lot of people to get. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
you got the right attitude. I think it's like it's just gonna take a while, and we're all gonna just have to like.
I'm just trying to rely on God, and I'm blessed that I was able to at least to pay my rent, that I got enough money to pay at least this month and next month. And then I'm pretty sure, depending on how things go, they might extend that period, because I think it's May 31st. So they might extend it maybe to August or something.
I think right now the stay at home is until May 15th.
Yeah, that was for sure May 15th. But I mean, I don't know if they're gonna push it back or say, okay, we can start. Because I know they were talking about a plan that Trump had. It was like was it a 12-step plan or something, a certain amount of steps, but you had to meet a certain criteria or something before you could even start those steps. And then certain things have to go a certain way to move on to the next step, or whether you get pushed back a step, or I don't know. But I'm just trying not to panic because, I mean, they can't put everybody out at the same time because you don't have a real problem. So, yeah, everybody's not going to allow tenants to be thrown out, to allow themselves to be thrown out. So, I mean, landlords can try it, but it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Because police aren't going to arrest people for that because they can't pay the rent right now. Yeah, my stomach. Ugh.
Oh, what do I hear?
Might try that one.
Ta-da!
I turned it away from you.
Oh, you're watching Blippi.
Hi.
Yeah, here she is. I'm surprised you never even made one appearance today.
Hi. She's like, I'm not interested.
I already know. Not funny. You got your iPad, that's why.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
These two, right?
Bye.
Ooh. All right. Well, I don't know. I guess.
Here, I'll stop the. There we go. Okay.
What is that?
A water
What?
bottle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some water. What do you think it was?
I don't know. I thought it was like an alien or something. It's like a horror, like you're making a horror short over there.
Hope it made me feel better.
Yeah.
I got to drinking more.
Drink some water, maybe some warm water.
Yeah.
You have that. Okay, well, thanks, Amy.
No problem. I will be back here again next Monday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Plan for Aisha to have the script of. Do you know which film you might choose? The short?
Maybe the live bait or something. Maybe.
The live bait one? Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah. That's a real good one. It's easy and definitely can be done for sure.
Cool. And then we'll see what else you come up with, and we'll look at See with Two Eyes, and we'll see who else shows up. And hopefully Destiny will be here next week. And we're gonna all have wonderful weeks and all of that.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Good to see you both.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, Aisha. Okay. Bye, Kristen.
Bye.
I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.